So ex-NBA superstar, podcaster, NBA analyst Gilbert Arenas said that there is a possibility that the Los Angeles Lakers can get Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant in exchange for Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. Gilbert Arenas believes that this is going to happen. He didn't really go into details how this is going to happen. Even if this was going to happen, obviously the Lakers are going to need a third team. Plus, the Lakers are going to have to take on some bad contracts of Brooklyn. They don't have enough draft picks. They don't have enough assets, young, talented assets, and they definitely don't have enough draft picks. I've been hearing rumors of the possibility of Kyrie Irving going to Los Angeles. Recently, earlier this summer, and ever since Kevin Durant has asked for a trade from Brooklyn, not demanded a trade, but requested a trade to be traded away from Brooklyn, and he only had two teams on his list: the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat. Which, by the way, those teams ran deep into the playoffs, all the way in, went deep into the playoffs. I just don't see this happening. This is not going to work. So, in theory, the Los Angeles Lakers are going to get the best players from Brooklyn. In return, Brooklyn is going to get the worst players for Los Angeles. That's basically how this is going to work. An even swap, okay? And I've been saying this for a long, long time. The Los Angeles Lakers are stuck like Chuck with Russell Westbrook. Nobody wants Russell Westbrook at this stage of player of Russell Westbrook, as well as that contract. He opted in, and now he's going to be making over $40 million for the Los Angeles Lakers. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving has wanting and demanding a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. He's not happy with the Brooklyn Nets. And guess what Kyrie Irving did? When he found out there was no market for him, there's not a lot of teams that's going to give him max money or close to max money. And the teams that are able to give him max money, they're not competitive teams. Unless he wants to go to the Detroit Pistons as a free agent, or the Orlando Magic maybe. San Antonio Spurs is a definitely no there. Him going to that destination. But if he wants his max contract and his max money for this year, he will have to become a free agent and sign a 1-year deal, and then after that he'll get his max money, but it's going to be on a non-competitive team. But there's no interest for Kyrie Irving. So now that's the reason why Kyrie Irving opted into his 1-year $30 million contract with the Brooklyn Nets. So I just don't see how this is going to physically happen. Why would Brooklyn give up their two best players, even though their two best players are not on the best terms with Brooklyn? Let's talk about Kevin Durant. I feel like there's a disdain between Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets front office, Sean Marks, and the ownership. I feel like it's more of a distrust. But when you have a distrust with in a relationship, a business relationship, if you just give it time, and if Kevin Durant I feel like Kevin Durant's going to be professional. He's going to play next season. He's not going to go on strike or anything like that. He's just going to roll the dice. He's a basketball player. He's going to roll the dice and see how this works. You never know. Maybe what Brooklyn drafted in the NBA draft, what Brooklyn picked up in free agency, particularly last season. See how it works with this new crop of players that's going to be around Kevin Durant. And you never know. Kevin Durant may change his mind about wanting to leave Brooklyn. Also, you're going to get Kyrie Irving on his best behavior. He's playing for a contract. He's not going to go on hiatus. He's not going to say stupid and ridiculous things. He's going to be on his best behavior because he's auditioning for other teams that probably will be willing to give him max money. Who knows? Maybe Brooklyn will give him max money at the end of next season. So, that's still on. that could still happen. I don't give it a high percentage of it happening, but it could happen. All right. So if you look at Kyrie Irving, he's more upset with the front office than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant may have a distrust for the front office like he had with the Golden State Warriors front office. And he's friends with Kyrie Irving. But I feel like if you just let things play out, maybe Kevin Durant will change his mind. Plus, they got Kevin Durant for 4 years, so there's really no rush for Brooklyn Nets to trade him immediately, expeditiously get him out of Brooklyn. I feel like the clock is ticking with Kyrie Irving. There's reports out there that suggest that Kyrie Irving wants to go to Los Angeles, but Los Angeles just doesn't have enough to orchestrate or engineer a trade where Kyrie Irving goes to La La Land. He could have went to Los Angeles and just signed a 1-year, $6 million contract, but he will look foolish in the public eye because there's a lot of people be thinking, you're going to give up $30 million, become a free agent, and you sign a 1-year deal with Los Angeles worth $6 million, and you really have nothing that's going to guarantee you to get max money for Los Angeles once that contract runs its course, because Los Angeles has issues with LeBron James. LeBron James, Genie Bus, they too have a distrust, and LeBron James is unwilling to sign an extension with Los Angeles, which handicaps Los Angeles, because why would any potential free agents want to sign with Los Angeles if they don't have any ringing endorsement that LeBron James is going to stay at least during their duration with their contracts with Los Angeles? Okay, not to mention the fact Los Angeles does not have enough draft pick capital. They don't have no young draft young players. They gave the last decent player Los Angeles had was Alex Caruso, and they let him walk. Okay, so the cover is bare for Los Angeles to even orchestrate or engineer a trade to get Kyrie Irving. Okay, and there's nothing concrete after that 1-year contract that Los Angeles will be willing to give Kyrie Irving max money. Okay, so I don't know where Gilbert Arenas is getting this stuff from. Maybe Gilbert Arenas secretly is a Los Angeles Lakers fan. I see a lot of these Los Angeles Lakers fans on social media as well as YouTube, and this is all they say. Kyrie Irving for Russell Westbrook. Why would Brooklyn be desperate to take Russell Westbrook's contract? Russell Westbrook contract does nothing for Brooklyn. Yeah, it frees up money, but why would Brooklyn do that? Okay, unless they're willing, Lakers are desperate enough to take on some of their bad contracts in return for Kyrie Irving. I can see that happening, but Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka do not want any bad contracts in return. They want to get out. They want to get out from under a bad contract, which is Russell Westbrook, which, surprise, surprise, Russell Westbrook opted into his $40+ million contract because there's no market out there, no demand out there for Russell Westbrook at this stage of his career. He's not the same Russell Westbrook. You're not going to get the Russell Westbrook from the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're not going to get the Russell Westbrook from the Houston Rockets. You're definitely not going to get the version of Russell Westbrook with the Washington Wizards. So you're stuck like Chuck with Russell Westbrook, okay? But there's also a disdain between Russell Westbrook and LeBron James. Nobody is not co-signing or the orchestration and telling the organization they have to do something when they traded to get Russell Westbrook. When there were better basketball decisions on the horizon, they could have gotten Buddy Hield, okay? They could have kept Alex Caruso. They had the possibility of having a better offseason last year than putting all their eggs in one basket, getting Russell Westbrook, and now you're already unhappy with that decision before the season even started. All right. So ultimately, Russell Westbrook is going to remain a Los Angeles Laker because there's no takers for him or his contract. Kyrie Irving is going to be on his best behavior with Brooklyn because he's fighting for a contract. Okay. And Kevin Durant, even though he's requesting a trade, he's not demanding a trade. You got 4 years with Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant, he's going to be a professional. He's going to see how this rolls out. You're probably going to get the very best Kyrie Irving that we haven't seen in a long time since the Cleveland Cavaliers, on top of all that you done signed this offseason and during the trade deadline with Ben Simmons. See how you roll the dice with that. Who knows? You may have a great team there. Okay, it doesn't look like it on paper, but you never know. With the summer league, building relationship and chemistry, you never know with the Brooklyn Nets. So, I believe you should have player empowerment. I truly believe in player empowerment. I also truly believe in owners owning their team instead of being held hostage owning their team. I believe that too. But too much of one thing could be a bad recipe for the league. If you have too much player empowerment where players go wherever they want to go, they don't have to honor their contract. They can team up and form super teams, and that leaves the other teams just scratching their heads and just going through the emotions. It's going to lead to a lot of fans unhappy with the NBA, and they're going to give up on the NBA. And all that attention, all that viewership, all that money is going to go someplace else to another league. If you have a league that's strictly for the owners, the players are not going to be happy. Certain fans are not going to be happy, and it doesn't make your product marketable, particularly if you want to be the number one sport in America. If you want these big time television contracts that the NFL is getting, I feel like there should be a balance in the NBA where the owners don't run everything and the players don't run everything. Now, I feel like the NBA should take a page from the NFL. The NFL says no one owner or player is bigger than the shield, the NFL shield. And I feel like the NBA should have that model. They should do everything to preserve the shield of the NBA. And I just don't think the NBA players are keeping the NBA shield in their best interest, and neither does the owners or the fans. But we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out. Anyways, your boy, the host with the most. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.